know to check, but yet her mobile app has a Gmail email, not a KW email. So if you could just maybe show me where I'm missing.
All right. So what email does she want to have show?
It's a KW email.
All right. So on the screen right here, go to where you see 1.0. Go to 1.2.
Okay. We did that. Edit contact info. Oh, we must have logged out. Hold on just a moment.
Sure.
Guess we timed out. We changed it there, and we also changed it in a white pages. Yet when it pulls up her mobile app and it says contact,
that should be the spots, white pages and 1.2.
Yeah.
And when did you make the change?
Like 5 minutes ago.
Yeah, I've seen it take 24 to 48 hours to update. So check it by Monday.
Okay. All right. That could be. Thank you.
No problem.
Now, I need to give you show my screen.
I think I can choose it.
Okay, you did it.
Got it. All right. You see my screen?
Yep.
Okay.
Was that your white dog?
That was my white dog. His name's. We got a white dog, and his name's Blue because he's got one blue eye. He's a white boxer.
Oh, cute.
All right. So, morning, everyone. Hope everyone's doing okay. How many inches of snow did you guys get this week? I saw it on the news. Denver got hammered.
Oh yeah, they broke by 5 in the morning. They broke the record high in a daily accumulation by like a half an inch by 5 a.m. and it continued to snow throughout the day.
Wow. You guys get hit with the same thing? Tons of snow, or?
Not really. No, not comparatively. Springs didn't get. They think they got about 3 inches total. I think Denver got 7.
Okay. All right. So what we're going to do on this one is go in and talk about Wolfnet and kind of like what we have now, what's changing, what's not changing, and then what's going to be available to you from Wolfnet as you move forward. And so as we go through this, if you guys have any questions, definitely ask those questions and just raise your hand so Ruth can see you, and then she'll pop in and ask those questions for you, or you guys can ask them if I can hear you. Okay. So let's talk about what we have right now. So when I come over here and I log into the back office of Keller Williams and I hit the plus sign next to my marketing, you see that within eEdge we have the Manage the eEdge website, which is powered up by Marketlator, and we have the Manage the eAgency website, which is powered up by Wolfnet. Now at the end of next year, not this year, but the end of next year, fourth quarter, the eAgency sites are going away. So, for instance, my website is the eAgency. It's going away. Just had a conversation with one of my team members, and we were talking about our plan to migrate it all over and move it. So the content that you have on your eAgency site will need to be moved. And as Keller Williams agents, the majority of you are probably going to move it to your new Playster website. Playster websites are coming out in February of next year for everyone. Some people already have them. Playster has its own IDX link that works on its own site. An example of that is KellySellsNorthTexas.com. So your Playster sites will not use Wolfnet. You will not be migrating your Wolfnet IDX link or your Wolfnet searches or anything else over to the new Playster websites. My internet's decided to be a little slow as I try to show this to you, so we'll give it a second here. But the content that's on your website, original content, you definitely can move that over. You will not be using Wolfnet on your new Playster websites. However, as we move forward, your KW mobile app is still going to be powered by Wolfnet in the foreseeable future. I think I mistyped it here. Hold on. So we get her to come up here. we go. All right, so here's her Playster website, and the search engine right here, the brain of the website, is going to be controlled by Playster. So you will not be able to use Wolfnet on your Playster sites. You will still keep Wolfnet powering up your mobile app. Keller Williams International has not made any announcements as a change on that or modification. So just know that for now and in the foreseeable future, Wolfnet is still going to do the mobile app. So you still need to do your Wolfnet IDX paperwork. You still need to get all that type of stuff set up. Offices still need to be providing that until further notice. And like I said, there's been no announcement on that. Wolfnet will feed into the eEdge database. It already does. And then Playster leads coming in will feed into the database as well for eEdge. So the goal is to eventually get us all down to one website, one IDX link, to make it easier for everybody. And so it's a little bit of a challenge to do that because we've got IDXs for Market Leader and soon to be Playster, and then of course your Wolfnet one, but the goal is to get it all down to one. But there will be a little bit of an overlap as we move forward into 2016. Questions on this part so far? Everybody understands what we're talking about?
Michael, I have a question. I was under the impression that Wolfnet could still be a plugin, but wouldn't be included in the KW package. So you still had the Wolfnet option, but you would have to pay for that option and have the ability to still plug that into Playster. Is that not true?
That's not true. What you can do is you can use the Wolfnet plugins, and you can use that on a third-party website. Like a Playster's built on WordPress. They have their own templates, but you could take Wolfnet and a Wolfnet plugin and put it on WordPress, just not the Playster templates, if that makes sense.
Yes, it does. Thank
you. Okay, yeah. And so that's something else we're going to talk about here in just a bit. So you definitely can use Wolfnet if you want to on a third party. It just will not work on Playster. So any questions on the mobile app? Any questions on the Playster integration or anything else like that before we go into new topics? I'm that good that there's no questions. All right, I'll take it. All right, so when I go into the back office of Wolfnet, and we actually have Joyce's link pulled up right here. When you get into the back office of Wolfnet, we're going to look at some of the settings and some of the features that you guys have right here. But I do want to point this out to you as well. If you go out to a website called mlsfinder.com, that'll bring you to the Wolfnet back office, or at least the portal to get in. This is what you're seeing before you get in. And you have access to all of this right now. And you know, the foundation of Wolfnet is being provided to you right now at no additional cost because it's part of eAgency. Now, when the eAgency site phases out, then you will have access to Wolfnet's plugins and all the other features that they provide. You just would have to use that on a third-party website. It would have to be something other than eAgency, which will go away, and it will have to be something other than Playster, which Playster already has their own stuff. There are going to be, and there already are, some agents that say, hey, Playster is great, and that's awesome, but it's not for me. I want something that's completely unique. I want something that's completely different from everybody else. I want to be my own unique little brand. Can I use Wolfnet on a third-party website? Yes, you can. Go ahead.
Michael, we did have a question.
Go ahead.
Okay. I've never been into the MLS Finder. I don't know where's.
Okay, so because there's been you've lost people on how to get into the back office of Wolfnet. Can't they also get into it by going into the KW site?
Yeah, there's two ways. So you see like right here, mlsfinder.com, client login, right up here. And that's how I'm logged in for Joyce. So everybody has a login for Wolfnet. However, if you do this, if you come over into the back office of KW, go to the plus sign next to my marketing, go to manage my eAgency website, which is the back office of eAgency. go to step 4.0. You see you have all these right here, and step 4.4 is your Wolfnet back office. You click on that, and then you're able to get in there as well. But just know that's going in the e-agency route, which today will work. End of fourth quarter next year will not work because e-agency is going away.
Okay.
What's the benefit?
Does that make sense?
Are we supposed to?
You're not supposed to follow me at this point. Just kind of watch.
Yeah.
We're recording all this.
Okay, good. I was going to
Okay.
ask if we were.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So when I get into the Wolfnet page, and we'll go into the back office here in just a bit, because in the back office you can see you got all your custom links and everything else over here. But before I even get into it, some of the things that Wolfnet provides to you is they provide plugins that you can put onto WordPress. You can put onto pretty much any website that you want. This is a fact right here that some of you may not even know this. All of you get an IDX link for your e-agency site right now. That's no cost. If you decided today that you wanted to have a third-party website, if you contacted Wolfnet and said, hey, can you send me a third-party version of my current IDX link for e-agency, they'll send you one that will work on a third-party website and no additional cost. Now, one of the things they are promoting, and rightfully so because it's good, is they have a program for their IDX link called 3.0R, and the R stands for responsive. So 3.0R is the mobile responsive version of Wolfnet. That is what can be added to a third-party website, and it will still look good on an iPad, it'll look good on a desktop, it'll look good on a phone, on a Droid, a tablet, whatever the case may be. It's mobile responsive. So they have what's called 3.0R. Here's an example, and this is an example I pulled off their website, and I think this is actually pretty close to home for you guys. It's not Colorado Springs, but it is Denver. And so what they have is they have a mobile responsive version of map tracks that I can pick up and move around and zoom in and see all the properties for sale in that area. And then I can also come up to the top of the page and I can run a search for, show me all the homes that are short sales, that are foreclosures, I mean, price, bed, bath, and you have all those different type of searches that you can run. Okay, so I can go in and I can use this, and like we said just a second ago, this is why it's so important, is because it's mobile responsive, and you can see that the map is adjusting, the screen is adjusting. So I'm looking at it on my phone, I'm looking at it on my iPad, I'm looking at it on my desktop. Everything is adjusted. Okay, so that's the search that they provide. Now, you could go to Wolfnet and say, hey, I want the IDX link that is mobile responsive, and then I also need a website that goes with that. And so they are providing websites that are kind of standard issue, cookie cutter. They're mobile responsive, and their IDX link will work on there. And you could go that route, and you could actually get the whole package from Wolfnet. So you could buy the IDX link on its own, or you could go in and have it packaged together with the websites that they provide and the IDX link. My design team is working on some third-party websites for agents that say, I want something different than Playster. And so we could do the same thing. We could provide a very unique branded website for you that is powered by Wolfnet. So you've got some options that are out there. And this is all stuff that you can do now. But if you really wanted to use Wolfnet in the future, once e-agency goes away, that's what you're going to have to do. It's something along the lines of that. Now they have IDX and Val, and I'm not sure if anybody knows much about the IDX link and about the Val package, but the Val package is basically something that is, you have to use it in certain parts of Canada, and there's other areas where you have to use it, and it is a benefit. But if they wanted to see basically all of the information of virtual office, the Val system, they would have to register. I say they, the consumers, they would have to register. And if they do that, then they have access to all of the items in the IDX link. So it's just a different way of doing the lead capture. Now, what you get from Wolfnet right now is all of these IDX search links. And the power users of Wolfnet have figured out very very quickly that I can go in, use these searches that are provided to me for my e-agency site, and then also go in and build custom searches, which are very powerful. And so if I look on the left-hand side, it's my menu for Wolfnet. And if I come on down, we'll talk about some of the high points of all this, but if I come on down, one of the biggest ones out there is the URL search builder. Because this is where you can go in, here's your link that shows 3,200 properties. You're like, oh geez, that's way too many. Well, this is where you can say, hey, show me all of the properties that are for sale in Colorado Springs that are commercial. And if you choose that option, now we're down to 88 properties. Well, I don't want commercial, I want all the single families. So now we're down to 1,900. Well, I want all the single families that are luxury. So let's start with 500 and up. So minimum is 500, maximum 6 million. So now we're down to 421. But I need all of the ones that also have a mountain view. So now we're down to 307. So you're running all of these different searches, and then when you're applying all of these different variables, all these filters, it's adjusting this link right up here. And if you look at the link itself, it's got mountain view in there, single family, there's your prices. So you're basically stacking these different searches on there. You can then take this search and use that to market and promote those 307 listings. And those can be custom search links that you add to your e-agency site right now. Those can be custom search links that you can add to a third-party website. The only thing is you can't use those searches on like a Placer website, because you already have a Placer search engine on there, and if you added a Wolfnet search link, then it would take you back over to your Wolfnet page. You'd be jumping people around from website to website, and that wouldn't be good from a consumer point of view. But that's one of the true powers of Wolfnet, is they have the ability for you guys to go in and run these searches. Because if you look right up here, you can say show active listings, show foreclosures, show them by county and city, address and zip. So if I wanted to, I can come over here and I can say show me all the properties near a certain address or in a zip code. Show me all the properties that feed into a school district. People move because of schools. Show me all the areas. And so here comes all the MLS areas and the subdivisions. I mean, you have a ton of different searches that you guys can run. And that is the most amazing part of Wolfnet, in my opinion. They have a very robust search capability where you can turn around and market those. Questions so far?
I want to just make a clarification, because I want to make sure that the agents now understand that once you have that code that you copy, then you take it into your agency website, and you might be writing a sheet about Briargate or District 20 school district. You're talking about all of the information about District 20. You've added a page to your website. Then do you remember, and probably most of you haven't done this, but there's that source code on that page that you click that source code, and that's where you paste the URL information. You paste that on there. That gives you the ability within that page that you just created, say about District 20, to have a search where you can say search for all homes available in District 20 neighborhood.
Right.
And the great thing about that code that he's giving you is, as it sells, as a property sells and falls out of that criteria, or one is added, because you're using that URL from the back office, it's going to refresh for you. So you don't. It's kind of a set it and leave it type of thing. So you do your search criteria, you put it in a page, and then it just automatically updates whenever somebody wants to pull the current information. You don't have to go in and update this over and over and over. It's a one-time setting.
Right. And the key thing on this one, because it's different on the market leader site with their IDX link. If you go out to your website and you run a search and say, hey, I want to market that search, and you copy the link that's on your website and then you add it somewhere else on your website, it will work for that day. But then when they update their servers, and I say they, Wolfnet, that link will die at the end of the day. And you're like, hey, how come my link didn't work? With Wolfnet, you got to come in here to the back office and you got to run this search, because what this creates is it creates a static link, a link that never changes with dynamic data. The data changes. And everybody goes, oh my gosh, I don't know how I'm going to be able to do all that. If you go out to my YouTube channel, you go out to youtube.com/Michael Tritthart. If you come down here, I've got a section, a playlist on e-agency and Wolfnet right here. And you click it. And in this section, I've got training videos that will help you. But one of the things you can do, let me find it right here, is create custom searches in the back office for Wolfnet. Key points to set up in the Wolfnet back office. So a lot of the stuff I'm sharing with you, I've got additional training videos on here that will walk you through specifically how to run those searches and then add them to your e-agency site. But keep in mind, e-agency is going away, but you will be able to run these searches on your new site that you get from Wolfnet if you decide to go that route. So if I come over here, and let's kind of work our way down the key points on this list. If I click on KW mobile app, that is Joyce's current code for that. And so what that means is her app link is going to say something along the lines of app.kw, app.kw/, and then it's going to have that number in there. And everybody looks at that number and goes, oh my gosh, can I change that? Can I make that custom? Yes, you can. And Wolfnet offers that feature. There is an annual fee to do that. But if Joyce wanted to make it Colorado Springs search app, instead of it saying a series of letters and numbers, she could do that. Now here's my opinion on that. I don't think you need to do that through Wolfnet, because I think the annual fee is too much, in my opinion, to make that change. Just go out and buy a domain name from GoDaddy called Colorado Springs homesearch.com and take that URL and forward it to your mobile app link. And here's what I'm talking about. If I come over here,
Wow.
and I go to where it says technology, KDB mobile app resources, there's my link. That's mine because I'm logged in as me. But that's my Wolfnet code right here. So Wolfnet's saying, hey, you can change that. And you can call that Colorado Springs Home Search. But I don't want to do that because that's like $75 for the year. So I'm just going to go buy a domain name from GoDaddy, which there's coupons out there. I can get a domain name for 99 cents for the first year, and I could forward it over to that link. But that's going to cost me money still with GoDaddy. Do this instead. And raise your hand so Ruth can see this. How many of you have a domain name already with GoDaddy?
Yep, almost the whole room.
Okay. So if you do this, if all of you call GoDaddy and say, hey, GoDaddy, I need to get a subdomain name, SUB domain, subdomain, GoDaddy will say, okay, we can do that. And somebody in the room that raised their hand, Ruth, asked them what's their website address that they have with GoDaddy.
What's your address?
Choice, Colorado.
ChoiceColoradoHomes.com.
Okay, so you call up GoDaddy and you say, hey, I've got ChoiceColoradoHomes.com. I need to go to a subdomain, and they're going to say, okay, we can do that. What do you want it to be? I want it to be app.choicecoloradohomes.com. So I'm just putting a prefix on there that says app, A-P-P, app.choicecoloradohomes.com. GoDaddy says, okay, we can do that. It's free. We'll do it here in a couple minutes. What address link would you like to forward it to? Oh, I want you guys to forward app.choicecoloradohomes.com to this link, and you give GoDaddy that link, and then in about 10 minutes, 5-10 minutes, they will have that subdomain created and forwarded over to this. And subdomains are completely free. So in my opinion, I know Wolfnet provides that, and I can see why they provide that. I just don't think it's necessary. I think there's a way to do it and do it cheaper, but also kind of follows your brand. Does that make sense?
Yes, I love that. Did not know that.
So if I come on down a little bit farther, any questions on that before we go further?
I was just going to say, and especially because the mobile app is going to be with us for a while,
That's
so
right. Yeah.
it's that's cool.
Yeah. So it's marketing without you having to spend any money. Now, if you call GoDaddy, you may end up getting like first level support that just may or may not understand exactly what you're saying. And that's not just about this topic, that's about any topic. And if that ever happens to you where you call GoDaddy or any customer service and they're just not getting it, just tell them, hey, please escalate the call to the next level, and they'll get it to the next level of support and they'll know what's going on. All right, so hold on for a second here. So if I come over here, I see my reports. Give it a second for this auto adjustment to finish there. Okay. I hit a button on my screen. Stop.
Oh, Michael, could you show us again where you went to find that URL?
Sure. For the mobile app,
Yep.
Yes.
technology.
No.
So I log into my KW, technology, KW mobile app resources.
You didn't really go into GoDaddy. He's just showing you where to get the information.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
And
that
it's
when
step 1, 2, and 3. There's the link, and then all you got to do at that point is call GoDaddy and say, I've got a domain name with you. It's called Choice Colorado Homes. I need to create a subdomain. GoDaddy will walk you through or do it for you. And then you tell them I need to forward that to this address, and they'll say, okay, done deal. Now, when I come over into the back office of Wolfnet, some of the other features that I get is I get my reports function, so I can run reports. I can see how many people have registered on my Wolfnet link. And when I click on reports, I can say, show me all of the people by last name, first name, email address, phone numbers, who's logged in the last 10 days, who has set up a search saver, which is like a search favorite, who's done this, who's done that. I mean, you can pretty much run any report that you want. If I come down here to search savers, if I had anybody active on search savers, which right now Joyce does not, I'm just looking at her stats right here, but if she did, she could run reports on that as well. So there's a lot of different reports that you guys can run.
and do those
Go ahead.
do those reports pull both the mobile app and the laptop version of Wolfnet, or is it one or the other?
Well, with the mobile app, you won't be able to get their name unless they have gone in and done something proactive, like, hey, show me, I want to see this property. I'm requesting a showing, or I've saved this search. So just because they download the mobile app doesn't mean they get added to the report. But if they
Okay.
have gone in and set up a search in the back office of the mobile app, which technically is the back office of Wolfnet, then you will be able to see that. Okay?
So everyone should be having their friends and family over the holiday, sit down, download it, do a search saver, so you can come back in and see how it's looking.
Yeah.
And
I mean,
nice
one of the first things you do with your mobile app is to go in and have your spouse, your kids, cousins, whatever, download it, run a search, save the search, then that way you're able to see what it looks like when it comes in, so you know what's going on. And for you to see the full data, you have to get into the Wolfnet back office. Even though the lead will go over into eEdge, if you still want to see what they're searching and what they've saved and things like that, you have to come over here and you have to run those reports. Come down to contact info. It's pretty straightforward, but one of the cool things about contact info is, let's say you have somebody on your team that's going to manage your leads. You can put them on the BCC, you can put them on the carbon copy, whatever the case may be. So maybe you have somebody it's a buyer's agent who's working all the buyer leads that come in off that. You have somebody who's more of an office manager that's helping you to manage your leads, then you can put them on that. You've got all your social media links on here. You've got your email signature. You can upload your logo. So pretty much any conversation that you're going to have, any communication with people that are coming in via Wolfnet, you've got all your contact info in place. This is where you can get in. This is your property search configuration. So this is very, very local to your business. So and how you want to have your stuff look online. You can change the colors, the fonts. You can upload your logos. City search behavior. Um, is it exact behavior or is it like behavior? And what they're giving you is an example like this. For example, if a user selects the city of Bell, only listings that are in Bell will be returned. Like behavior will list everything in the city of Bell, but also Bel Air, Bellevue, LaBelle. So it's your personal settings. What do you want people to see? Come on down a little bit farther. You've got mobile settings, mobile phone detection, which means it's going to make it mobile responsive. So a lot of this stuff is already preset. You don't necessarily have to adjust it, but just know that it's there to where you can. Here's some things that you definitely want to look at adjusting. Your lead capture tools. User registration fields. Right now, Joyce has all of her fields set to be optional or don't show. And in my opinion, that's exactly what you want, because there's 4 that are hard-coded that you cannot adjust. They must give you first name, last name, email address, and they must set up a password if they want to save something in Wolfnet. But if you go in and start saying, well, I need to make address and city, state, and zip required, they're going to look at that as a user and say, nope, I'm not giving you that info. Keep your forms lean and mean. Only require what is necessary. Everything else is either optional or don't show. Because if you give people a 20 form field report to fill in whenever they want to inquire about a property, they're not going to do that. You got to keep these lead requests very simple, very clean. Come on down a little bit farther. You got lead capture form settings. So again, these are all your different fields. You can adjust those. You're coming on down. You've got customer behavior. Send me a report of customer behavior. That's basically the analytics. What are people doing? What are they clicking on? Which properties are they saving? I mean, it tells you everything, and that can be something that can be sent to you via Wolfnet. So if you want to know your numbers, Wolfnet provides that to you. Site login options. Right now, Joyce has hers set as 1, which is fine. That's her prerogative. But you guys can say show 0 to 10, and what that means is if I go out to Joyce's website, run a search, find 50 homes in the search results, and I click on the first one, I'll be able to see that property and everything about that property. But when I go to property number 2, before I can see it, I'm going to have to register because she has her details page set at 1. If I adjust that to 4, then that means that I'm going to be able to see 4 properties, and then boom, here comes the lead capture kicking in. So you give them 1 freebie, in this case 4 freebies, whatever it is, and then after that they got to start paying for the meal. They got to register.
Can you do unlimited, or is that what the 0 is for? Is
0 to 10. 0 means it's wide open,
Okay.
and then 10, you get 10 freebies. And everybody says, well, what number should I set it at? That's your own personal preference, but I'll put it this way. I'm not a fan of 0. Walmart has a cash register for a reason. They want you to go in and shop, but they also want you to check out. If you set it at 0, that means you have no cash registers on your website. People are going to come into your website, use you, and abuse you. Now, some people say, well, I don't like going to a website, searching for cars, and then after the first search, they make me register. Okay, then adjust it. Wolfnet has gone on record in the past and said that 3 is the optimal number. 3 freebies, 3 free appetizers, then you got to pay for the meal. But again, everybody has their own personal preference. Come on down a little bit farther. That was all underneath site login options. Here's some settings for Outlook, which is your vCard settings, and then here's settings for anybody who uses Top Producer. Now, one of the features that you could use from Wolfnet is what's called map tracks. Map tracks is a mapping feature that will allow you to see the homes via map, very similar to what we're looking at right here, where people can go in and search for homes via maps, right? And if you want Wolfnet map tracks, it's an extra $10 a month currently on your IDX bill that you would have for e-agency. So e-agency is free. You say, well, I want map tracks. It's a $10 setup, and then it's $10 a month. But what that will do is that will allow consumers to go into your website and then see properties listed by map. So it's very spatial. People love to see the maps and get in and zoom around and click on them and do all that other type of information. So having a mapping feature, whether it's from Wolfnet or some other IDX link that you're using, I think is important because people do want to use that. The URL search builder, we talked about that already. That's where you can save them right here. The custom ones, my custom, or you can come over here and you can start to build them. So you can see any of the viewed or saved ones. She hasn't done any of those yet, but once she does, then you can go out and you can see that information.
So if I may, Michael, if I'm understanding correctly, you could do searches that said 100,000 to 250, and then the next search could be 251 to. Is that what you're saying? And you name them and
Yep.
then save.
So here's 100,000.
Like how.
Let's do 100,000 to 150, right? And show me all the single-family homes in the whole MLS from 100,000 to 150. Drop the mountain view. So again, make sure you have all your criteria that you want. Maybe you say, well, I want condos too. You can see the number down here is changing. Oh yeah, we better put townhouses in there. And so I've got this all set the way I want. If I hit save, then I can say 100 to 150 SFC townhome. Hit OK. So now view your saved custom URLs. There it is. So I don't have to go into the back office and every time I want to run a search, I don't have and advertise that search. I don't have to redo that search. I can set them all up right here and I can save them. And there's the results. So that's if I'm going to be marketing them again and again and again. I don't have to sit there and run them each time. Come on down a little bit farther, SEO settings, you get some meta tag options, and this is basically where you can go in and use some keywords to help describe your search result page that comes up. Just a little bit of SEO, search engine optimization. Come on down a little bit farther. Registration opt-in email. This email provides your users with instructions on authenticating their email address. I mean, again, it's just certain settings that they have to do if they want to set up search savers. Then you have virtual tour options right here. So here's a property that you can take and you basically create some virtual tours. And then you've got enhanced listings. Same feature. So you can put a link in there for your listings, additional information about the property. Biggest things you guys are going to use on the left-hand side are going to be my property search URLs because those are your shortcut links. The reports. Double check your contact info. Make sure it's all right. All this pretty much is going to be set the way you want. Lead capture, you're going to look at this, but specifically you're going to look at site login options. Map tracks, if you have it, you're just going to go and double check and make sure it's opening up on the map, on the location of the map the way you want. But then probably the one you're going to spend the most time on is going to be the URL search builder and building custom URLs that you can then turn around and promote those on your website or promote them elsewhere. So that's pretty much the back office of Wolfnet right now. And then, like I said, once e-agency goes away, you'll still have access to Wolfnet if you want to use it on a third-party website. We're building some of those for clients as we speak. And then Wolfnet's also going to power up the mobile app. And so if you need help with putting together a third-party website, just shoot me an email, or you can go out to my website, which is michaeltritthart.com. Contact me from there, and then we'll help you get some more information on those third-party sites that are using Wolfnet. So let's open it up to any questions that you guys may have, and then we'll answer those, and we'll get you guys wrapped up and out of here on a Friday.
On our websites that we've already refreshed, How is that moving?
Can you repeat that, Joyce? I couldn't hear it all.
The question is, if they've already refreshed their e-agency, so I'm assuming you mean to play store.
Well, no, we've done a refresh of the last year.
Okay.
So, how is that?
Did Michael do it for you?
No.
Okay. So they already did the refresh with the e-agency, but not to Playster, just the refresh of
Okay.
the e-agency. How does that information get moved over to Playster?
Okay. So it's not going to automatically move over because it's different platforms, right? So e-agency, e-edge, completely different from Playster. However, the site that you're looking at right here, Kelly Sells North Texas, she had all of her information on one of the other sites previously. And so we were able to come over here and move a lot of the information over. And so when I come over here to where I click on Allen, Texas, if there's any custom content, let me go to neighborhoods. So a lot of these neighborhoods that she's created where it says read more about Beacon Hill, all of this was already on her e-agency and or her e-edge site. So that information can be moved over. We can reset the searches. We can do all that other type of information. So if you have custom content on e-edge or e-agency, absolutely can be moved over. The home page will have to be redesigned because it's a different platform. We are doing that right now. We've got a special. Normally it's $1,000 for Playster, but we're doing them for $850. And if you've already got an e-agency site that's been refreshed, the content that's custom on there can be moved over. And everybody goes, well, I just redid e-agency within the last year, 2 years, 3 years, whatever it is. Keep in mind, you're going to have e-agency until the end of next year. So it's not going away like next Friday. So you could get your Playster site set up and set the way you want while e-agency is up and going. And then when it's time to switch over, you can do that. So you can move at your own pace, especially with the fact that it's not going down until next year. But it's just one of those things when it comes to technology. I've had my e-agency site since 2008, and I'm going to have to move all my information over, all my interior pages and everything else. Is it going to be a pain in the rear? Yeah, it is. But the end payoff is going to be 10 times better because I'm moving to a mobile responsive platform. It's easier for me to manage in the back office. E-agency is just antiquated. Now, I know there's other companies out there, design companies that are offering to help, and you guys choose whoever you want to use. I'm not going to sit here and say, oh no, you got to use us. You choose whoever you want to use, but just know this: I've heard from other agents that some of the companies are out there saying, oh, you refreshed your e-agency site, okay, you need to refresh it one more time to get it ready to move to Playster. You don't need to do that, and I'm telling you straight up, that's a money grab, in my opinion. If there's another company out there saying, oh, you need to refresh e-agency before you move it to Playster, don't do that. How many of you like to pay baggage fees when you fly some of these airlines out here? I don't think anybody's raising their hand on that one. I'm taking a shot in the dark. I don't think any hands went up on that. I don't either. And I haven't paid for them in years because I think it's ridiculous. I think it's a money grab. And that's what we're talking about right here, in my opinion. If a company is telling you that you have to refresh your e-agency site again to get it ready for Playster, that is false. Because we're moving people over. They're not losing their SEO. We know what we're doing, number one. But you're able to take a lot of that content and move it over and get it set the right way. That's just another way for them to kind of nickel and dime you to death.
On the map tracks, that's the only added extra expense on the back office of looking at per month.
I couldn't hear you.
Is MapTrax the only additional expense with Wolfnet on the back end based on what we went through?
If you're using it right now for e-agency, yes. But once e-agency goes away, then you are going to want to go out and get a third-party website. Maybe it's a website from Wolfnet. Maybe it's just a third-party website using the IDX link from Wolfnet. Then there will be a fee for the Wolfnet website. If you go that route, there will be a fee for MapTracks, and there would be a fee for the mobile responsive version of Wolfnet. And so a lot of that information can be found on MLSfinder.com.
The question is, once they do move over to Playster, is there going to be a setup fee assessed to the agent to just move into the Playster website?
Okay, good question. So let's say today you get off this call and you say, I want to go to Playster today. You in the room could go to Playster today. If you sign up for Playster, the minimum fee is $5 a month for the website, plus an IDX fee from Playster, which I think varies from MLS to MLS. I know ours in North Texas is like $38 a month. So you're basically paying about $43 to $45 a month if you went to Playster today. Now, if you wait until the Keller Williams version comes out, there will be no cost, because the KW websites powered by Playster are taking the place of e-agency in your tech fund that you're paying for each month. So basically the $10 of the $25 that you're paying KW for all of your tech funds, Playster is going to take the spot of e-agency when they roll out in February. And when Playster rolls out in February, the KW version, you will get an email from Keller Williams saying, congratulations, you now have access. Please follow these steps to log in and start the access and development of your KW website powered by Playster.
Okay, and so if somebody does go to Playster and sign up and pay the $45 a month, and because they want to get a head start, and now KW's version comes along, and they're able to now take advantage of it for free, is the information that was set up at the $45 a month just converted into the KW?
Yes.
Okay.
Because here's one right here. This is Eve. EveHolderHomes.com. She's out of Dallas. She came to my class, I think it was like 2.5 months ago when we first started talking about Playster, and she's like, I want to move down. I don't want to build anymore on E-Edge or E&C. If it's going to go away, let's go ahead and move down. So this is Playster. Now when she gets access to the Keller Williams version, what that is basically it's another template that's provided to them. And if she says, oh, I want to use the KW version in terms of the look and feel, all she does is she just hits a button to switch over. But once it's activated for KW, that's part of the Playster billing process, is to remove those fees. So there's nothing that really she needs to do. She'll just get notified when she has access and the fees drop off. And she doesn't have to migrate the data or do anything else, because all it's really doing right now is just kind of reskinning the look. She'll have to adjust the look, but content doesn't go away. What else?
I have a question going back to the mobile app.
Okay.
Let's say that the mobile app, the client has downloaded the mobile app, they put in the client code, which your tip on getting a subdomain name with GoDaddy was brilliant. I really appreciate that. But now they downloaded an agent app from KW, and they want to switch agents for whatever reason.
Right.
Like I was just on the phone, and on this training, and I thought, well, I'll just go log in and do a search safe on Joyce's site so that we can see what that looks like on the back office. But because I had downloaded it and put in another agent up in Denver, then even though I deleted it and tried to download it again, it pulled back from the cloud that same agent.
Yeah, eventually, and when I say eventually, hopefully sooner than later, hopefully like by February, the mobile app is going to have the ability to where you can switch agents. Like you've downloaded Joyce's mobile app, but you need to switch it out to somebody else. They're going to provide that capability. So prime example of this happening is, hey, ABC client of yours had your mobile app in Colorado Springs, but they just moved to Dallas and they want to switch and use my mobile app. Right now, they can't do that. They would have to go out and delete it from the store. I mean, they have to basically burn the crops down and switch it over. Now, one thing that you could do is you could share your app to them via text to see if that will override what's already on their phone. And I think that's more of a phone-to-phone type of situation as to if that will work. But they're going to go in and provide a button that will allow you to switch it in the My Agent section from the agent they downloaded it to the agent they want to have now. It's just not a function that's in there.
Right before the class, we had one agent tell another agent to go download their app and see if it was the one with the wrong email, to see if it had updated on the new download. And the other agent did download Sybil's mobile app. Now, if you, I'm trying to think how we're going to correct that problem for him, because now on his phone he's got Sybil's app, and he's not, how is he going to be able to download his own app to share it?
Well, I think the easiest way to fix that is just make him part of Sybil's team, and then.
Yeah, get a new phone. No, that won't do it.
Yeah, throw the phone away and start over. No, try that to where you can share it. Now let's see if he can. Now we'd have to download it on another app. What he could do is this. Try this. Is have him log into his KW account, pull up his mobile app page. Give it a second for it to pull up here. And then type in his phone number right here, and then it'll send a link to his phone, or he can do this step right here.
Okay.
But in the near future, they're going to give you the ability to switch it from agent to agent. It's just not there yet.
Okay. Right.
Lori's app was on my phone. So I thought I installed my app on my phone. Twice, but I didn't uninstall the app.
That's what he's saying, burn it down.
And I
The crops.
uninstalled it. And then I went to Lori and said, Lori, I uninstalled it, it's still showing it. And all of a sudden it showed my app. And I reinstalled, read it off my business card, and reinstalled. And now I've got my app back on my phone.
Are you on the cloud? You see, I'm on the cloud, and I think that's.
I'm on the cloud too, but my understanding, once you put code in your app, it's off.
Yeah.
Now, even if they can delete you and delete you, but they still got you.
Yeah, it finally came up with Sherry's.
Well, we'll have to try this step because it was Coach that did that, and we're going to have to see what he's. Okay.
Okay. So are we good? Any other questions?
Yes, I did have one more. Do you do training with what office?
For William Page, Advantage 3.
What town?
Oh, Lake Nona.
Do you do trainings ever with Lake Nona in Florida?
Where is Lake Nona?
It's a suburb of Orlando. It's about 10 minutes from the airport.
Yeah, I mean, I do training in Orlando, and I've done it. I think it's Turkey Lake Road or something like that, and I know a lot of those agents from that area have come in before. But we can look. I mean, if you've got a request or connection to do some training at that specific market center, email me at michaeltritthart@gmail.com, or just come over here to my website and send me an email, and send me the best person to talk to that office about doing some training there, and we can set it up. And those would be hands-on workshops.
Yeah, she's transferring, so she's hoping she can keep you.
Okay. We can look at. I don't do the webinars with them. We could look at doing something along the lines of that, or we could look at doing some hands-on workshops out there.
I know they've got 250 agents there.
Yep.
And
I know the guy that the team leader actually teaches bold, and he's always looking for new insight and training.
Okay.
So she'll email you, make a
email you,
connection on
Michael.
that.
Yeah,
So,
sounds good.
You talked about when e-agency is going away is the end of 2016.
Yeah, fourth quarter.
What about the market leader websites?
No announcement on that from International. So
Okay.
we don't know. That's going to be a tricky one because what I'm hearing is that they want to keep market leader as the CRM, but that we want to go to one website. Well, how do you separate the CRM from the website? I mean, there's a lot of intertwined technology right there. So I'm not sure exactly how they're going to figure that one out. I don't know if they know exactly how they're going to figure it out yet.
I initially thought market leader was going to go away before e-agency, but now it sounds like it might be around longer than e-agency.
I don't know. I mean, I've heard a lot of different conversations, and I don't know if any of them know what they're talking about.
Okay.
Well, Michael, doesn't Pleister though kind of take the place of market leader?
Well, it's going to take the place of the website, but Pleister does have a CRM, but that's not part of the package that's being provided to KW.
Oh,
That's the
Yeah.
that's the complication.
So you'd have to pay extra for that. So that's where it gets a little interesting. And like I said, they're holding their cards pretty close to their vest right now as to what route we're going. I would bet that we probably have a big announcement coming up for February. That's what we usually do.
Tammy has a question.
All right, this is maybe a long question. We're on floor time and we get a lead from the front office from Wolfnet. And it shows us the person's name and email address and phone number, and then it says, for more information, click here. And it takes you to that Wolfnet back that we were looking at, how to set up and do all that stuff.
Right.
But I can't find anywhere where it shows me more information about the caller or the person, the lead.
All right, so what's going to happen, what the front desk should do, in my opinion, is new lead comes in, they need to come over here to reports. They need to find that person by first name, by last name, click on that, report comes up, they print that report, or they email that report, or they get it to you somehow, some way, and then that's where you can find out more details about the person. Now here's the fun part with that. You call that person, you start working that cold call, building that relationship. The fun part about all of that is they've registered on the office system when in fact you really kind of sort of want them on your own personal system. So part of your script may be, hey, I've got your initial information, but to really service this, I'm going to need you to come over here to my website and register over here. Or you can just work the report that comes in off of that. That's the kind of Achilles heel of the system, is that it doesn't allow you very easily to transfer somebody's info that they've set up on the office site into your own personal site.
And it's a good thing Brooke is in the meeting because she's now, she's covering for Joyce, so maybe you can figure out at the desk how you're going to do that.
Yeah, you want to try to get them those reports as much as you can.
But I like the idea of just.
All right, guys, I've got to jump on another call starting at the top of the hour. I appreciate you guys being here. We're going to get this recorded and archived, and then we'll get it over to you. And I hope that you guys have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, and then we'll touch base again in January with another session.
Great. Thank you so much, Mike.
Thank you, guys. All right, thank you. Bye.